Okay, so here's my first floor. I finished it, yay. I put in the furniture, I extended the counter to make a little bar so you could eat there. Put in the stairs and the windows. And then I did my second floor on the second piece of paper. I could lay this on top and make sure that the walls lined up and made sure that the stairs lined up. I also measured it so that it was the 12 by 11 feet. So here are my stairs that go up and down. And then I have a little hanging area of 3 feet right here with the wall, and I'm just going to put a curtain. Then I have my bed, 2 nightstands, and then I'll have a rug underneath. And I'm going to have a long bench right here that has storage underneath, and then some sort of railing right here so that I can look over into the rest of the living area downstairs. So if you are having a trouble seeing like where to put your second floor on top of your first floor, a great thing to do is to put it up against a window. So, whoa. You can see there that I can see the underneath part through here. Sorry, this is hard to do. Not my forte. You can see the first floor underneath, and that way I lined especially the stairs up. Also, I realized that I could do my templates, my paper templates underneath the same way, and you can totally see it, so that's doable. So let's go on to doing an elevation. And excuse me moving this again and trying to line everything up. I'm going to take my first floor and I am going to draw this wall. I've asked you to do 4 different elevations. I don't want you to do like just the living room and then the kitchen separate. If it's on the same wall, do the whole thing. If I want to do a kitchen elevation of this wall, then I could do that separately. Do one of the bathroom and then do, whoops, one for your upstairs. And pick a wall that has something exciting on it that you can show. Like I would not want to do that wall. There's really nothing to show on that. I might want to do this wall where there's a lot more to show. Or this half wall so I can show what the cubby looks like. I'll decide later. But I'm going to do this wall right here because it has both the sitting area, the door, window, this counter, and this window over here. So what I'm going to do, and this is the easiest way to do it, and you will do it with drafting equipment this way, I'm going to line up my lines on my graph paper. I'm going to pretend I'm standing up against this wall and looking at that wall. And remember, it's flat, it's 2-dimensional. Nothing is going to look like it's 3D, no seat tops, no countertops. I'll show where the counter edge is, but not the top of the counter. That would be a perspective, and you can learn that in my Interior Design B class. So I put the paper up on top of the wall that I'm going to draw. If you put it below, you will get a mirrored image of that wall, and unfortunately I would have to mark you off for that because everything would be backwards. So make sure when you're drawing an elevation that you are doing it where you're standing here looking at that wall and then your paper is up there. All right. You can use Scotch tape to tape these together. This is just painter tape because it won't tear the paper. If you do it on the edge where you're not drawing, line this up, and you just use Scotch tape, that's fine. And of course here in the classroom I have this blue tape, so I'm going to use it. The first thing I'm going to do is draw where are my walls, this corner and this corner. So I am going to draw a light line going up, and I never ever use the edge of my page down here because you want things more in the middle. I make sure that my ruler's lined up, and I'm going to draw a light line. Then I'm going to draw my floor, and please, please notice that I am not at the edge of the paper. You will have a hard time if you are using the edge of the paper. I can go to the next square up. That totally works. I'm going to draw this line dark because I know exactly where it is. And then our height, total height of our ceiling is, I said 7 plus 1 plus 6, 14 feet. So again, I'm going to count squares: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I say 14? 15? 15. We're going to do 15. In California, you can't have a tiny house that's that tall, but we'll pretend we're not here in California. We're in some weird world. I'm going to close off my rectangle and make my ceiling up here. It's definitely going to look different than your floor plan, and that's okay because you're not doing another floor plan. You are doing an elevation. Now I'm going to darken in my walls. Oh, well, that's awful. I have this lovely pencil, and I don't even know where I got it, with hearts. It is really a lovely pencil. Oh, good. Okay, so don't push too hard like I did. Darkening the walls. Darkening my walls on this side. So I have a rectangle that I'm working with. Now, if you've got everything lined up like this, super easy. All you do is you measure where everything is. Here's my door, here's my counter, and I don't have to do a bunch of counting. If you're drafting with a T-square and triangle and on a drafting board and not graph paper, you really have to do it this way. I've had so many students think they're doing it this new way and everything's off. So just follow the directions. I'm giving them to you for a reason. So my window's right here. And again, I like a lot of light. My window's going to start at 3 feet. It's going to go all the way up to the ceiling. Because to have a small space look bigger, you need a lot of light and be able to see outside. So your window needs to be at least 1 foot down from the ceiling because of structural support. I'm going to have it be 3 feet off the ground, and that's going to be the edge of that side of my window. And then I'm going to do this side of my window. I'm very anal retentive about this being straight as possible. I'm going to connect it at the top. And hopefully you have downloaded or picked up your door and window elevation and floor plan ways of drawing it. I wanted to have a way for these to open. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I was thinking something. I'm going to have this lower part open, kind of like a little awning, and then the upper part be just plain glass. And that way they can pop these out and have some airflow. Gotta have airflow. So I divided this into sections yesterday. So we have I have two small ones and a big one that I can open up. And then this is glass. This shows that it's a reflective surface. There's my windows, and I'll figure out window coverings later. Then my door. My door is going to be 7 feet tall. If you looked at the directions, that's how tall the door is. Oh, I didn't do that one 3 feet. Oh, I could have, because I do have enough room, but that's fine. I didn't. This one's going to start on the floor. So this is my floor. A lot of people get super confused because they've been looking at this and they want things up here. And this is the floor, this is the ceiling. So your furniture and everything has to be on the floor. Right floor right here. I have to do that sometimes for students. And this is the ceiling. All right, back to this. So my door is going to be on the floor, 7 feet tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to definitely be dwarfed by the window. That's okay. Told you I like a lot of light. Was that right? That was right. I could, I'll have to think about it. I could put like another big window up there just so the door doesn't look so tiny. Maybe. I'm going to put my door so it's closed, and your doorknob's going to be 3 feet off the ground. So that'll be right here. There we go. I'm going to draw this and then see how weird the door looks. I might make my window smaller if I don't like it. That's why we draw in pencil. I almost have an eraser left and I can use that. So our counters are going to be 3 feet high. Why? I didn't just make that up. I actually know that for a fact. I have to have room for these to go underneath. Ooh, maybe I should make it out here. I think I will. No, I won't. I don't want to change it right now while I'm teaching. I have to do an elevation. That would make no sense. And this is going to go all the way across from right there. I know it turns, but I'm not going to see that. I'm just going to see that's the top of my counter. I am going to make it so maybe these are little cubbies right here. And it's going to be an overhang of a foot. So my actual cabinet is going to go up like that. If you look at the edge of your counter, it has thickness to it. Like the table that I'm sitting on is about an inch and a half, an inch thick. So I need to draw that thickness. And I'm going to do that right here. Did that work? Yes, it did. So that is all that you're going to see of the counter. Like I said, you're not going to see the top of it. It's not going to go off at an angle or come up like this and have things sitting on it. That doesn't work. Everything's flat, like a big steamroller rolled over it and flattened it. And your parents probably understand that from watching older cartoons. I don't know if they have